Hello prescribers. Welcome on board for a quick demo for AdvancedConnect. In order to prescribe, you need an account with AdvancedConnect. This account will be created by the pharmacy assigned to you by AdvancedConnect, or by the pharmacy you referred from. First, we will open our web browser and go to the sign-in link. This link, user ID, and password will be given to you by the pharmacy after they sign you up. This link can be different for different pharmacies. So, you paste the link given to you by the pharmacy in the address bar of your web browser and hit enter. You will have this kind of login page, where you use the user ID and the password given by the pharmacy to log in into the AdvancedConnect portal. Once you log in, you see the home screen, and on the left, you see the prescriber name and the status. Right below the status, you will see all tabs like New Prescription, View Patients, View Med History, Add New Patient, Pharmacy Order Queue, Manage Drug Category, Manage Order Set, View Drug, View Prescriber Profile, and last but not least Admin, from where you can manage users, like Add User or View User respectively. At the right top of the screen, we can see the clinic or the practice name. Right next to it we have a logout button, and next to logout there is a gear icon, from where you can send us an email for support. Also, can change the password for the portal by clicking on Change Password tab. As name defines, the New Prescription tab is to fill new prescriptions. To fill a prescription, we need to enter the last name along with the date of birth of the patient. As soon as you press the search button, the patient name will pop up right below the tab. Once you see the name, just hit select. Once the patient is selected, the cursor will automatically follow the next step. Start typing the drug name which you want to prescribe and hit search. You will see all the available drugs in your database. Click on the appropriate drug which you want to prescribe from the given list. Once you hit the name of the appropriate drug, you will be given useful options to fill automatically by the system, like quantity, refills, days, DAW, auto refill, and auto refill request, just by selecting yes or no from the drop-down, SIG info, medication notes, and price, respectively. Once you fill in all the required information, just hit the Add to Queue button and that drug will be added to this prescription. The same process can be used for all the drugs which you want to enter into the same prescription. Your prescription is ready. To proceed further, either go to the right top, at the current order button. Here you won't have an option to choose the shipping option, or all the way at the bottom of the page where you see the details, like patient name, shipping address, phone number, and email address to re-verify before you proceed. So, just select the desired shipping option from the drop-down, and hit review and sign, to proceed further. Now, this is the final step to submit a prescription to a pharmacy assigned to your practice. On this page, you will see all the info, followed by some buttons, like Med Information, Save Order Set, that we will discuss later in this demo. Send to Order Queue. This option is to send the prescription to a queue if in case you want to submit afterward. Submit, print and exit. Right now we will select Submit, through which prescription goes directly to the assigned pharmacy. The next tab is View Patient tab. Here, you can search for a patient using its last name and date of birth. Right before the patient's name, there are 4 shortcuts, wherein B stands for Billing Info, R stands for Remarks, A stands for Allergy Info, and E stands for Edit Patient. Practically, from this tab, you can see a patient's profile from A to Z. This combination of the patient's last name and date of birth makes your search for the precise patient that you are looking for. The next tab is View Med History tab. Here, you can search a patient's medication history, searching by the patient's name. You need to select the appropriate patient from the list given by the system. Just hit Select, which is right before the serial number, to see a patient's med history. On this tab, you can see the patient's name, address, date of birth, gender, phone number, and a total number of med history, at the right top of the page. This tab also gives you the privilege to refill an RX, just by selecting the patient, using the checkbox, right before the serial number, and clicking on the refill button, given at the top of the page. The next tab is Add a New Patient tab. Here you can add a new patient by manual data entry. As you see, there are 8 tabs at the top of the page, such as Patient Info, insurance info, allergy info, diagnosis info, billing or payment info, shipping info, remarks, and documents at the end. Each tab has a unique value, and a field containing a red asterisk on each and every tab is mandatory to fill. On the Patient Info tab, we only fill in the patient's personal information like the first and last name, phone number, email, address, city, state, zip, ID type, ID number, and gender, etc. As name defines, Insurance tab is to save insurance-related info. The Allergy Info tab is for allergy-related info and going by the name. The Diagnosis Info tab is for diagnosis-related info. The Billing or Payments Info tab is to save the payment method for a patient. The Shipping Info tab is to save the preferred shipping method for a specific patient. The Remarks tab is to keep the remarks for the patient profile if needed. Last, but not least, the Documents tab is used for saving the scanned documents related to a specific patient with its profile respectively. Once all the required information is filled in, we can save the new patient using the Save button at the bottom of the page. The next tab is Pharmacy Order Queue tab. Sometimes, we have a busy day and do not really have time to review all the prescriptions while prescribing. This is the time when we can use the Pharmacy Order Queue. While prescribing, at the New Prescription tab, rather than submitting the prescription, we can directly hit Send to Order Queue button, and afterward, whenever we have a respite, we can go to the Pharmacy Order Queue and select the prescriptions one by one and review and submit to the assigned pharmacy by using the Submit button. You can always search previously sent to queue prescriptions using the date range and the order status by clicking on the search button at the top. The next tab is Manage Drug Category. Here you can create, edit and delete the drug category. If you are practice prescribing almost similar drugs in a specific set, then this tab is for you. Manage Order Set. Let's start from scratch. So, to fill a prescription, we click on the New Prescription tab. We use the patient's last name and the date of birth to search the patient. Now, as soon as we select the patient by hitting Select, the cursor will automatically move to the next step. Then, we'll start typing the drug names, considering we have multiple drugs in an order which we prescribe on a regular basis. So, now we will start adding one drug at a time, and fill in all the required information to create a prescription. Once we are done adding drugs, we will scroll down to the bottom of the page, and select the desired shipping option, and hit Review and Sign where we have a text box at the bottom, to type the name of the order set, and also a button that says, Save Order Set. So, every time we feel this order set can be used on a regular basis, we give it a name, and click on the Save Order Set button. Now, in the future, we can always click on Manage Order Set tab to manage or delete the order set, as well as select the order set by clicking on the Order Set Lists dropdown on the New Prescription page. This makes the whole process very less time taking from the next time. The next tab, in other words, is the drug database, named as View Drug. We can search a drug by name, category, type, compound type, and drug class, just by clicking on the search button. The next tab is a prescriber's own tab, named as View Prescriber Profile. Here you can edit and view your own profile such as your last name, first name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, email, etc., including important info such as NPIDEA and state license. Here we can also choose from a file and upload documents such as DIA, state license and NPI, etc. Do not forget to hit the Save button after making changes. The most important tab is Admin tab. It gives you an option to manage users. From here, you can add and view users. After filling in all the user information, such as last name, first name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, email, user status, user type, and clinic name, you can choose a username by typing in the text box given at the bottom of the page. Do check the availability of the username by clicking the Check Availability button. Now, select a strong password with a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters, and hit the Add Staff button to add a user. Unlikely. From the View User tab, you can search the user by selecting the user status, clicking on the drop-down on the left top, and hitting the search button. You can also edit and update staff from this tab. A lesser-known fact is that you cannot delete a user. However, you can mark a user inactive by clicking on the Edit button right before the serial number and selecting the active status from Yes to No, and saving it by clicking Update Staff. Still thinking? Why, what, and how? Feel free to get in touch with the pharmacy managing your account. Or visit www.advancedconnect.com.